so I think that looks a lot better with paint shaved off of here. I still need to like get up in there. You can kind of see like primer in some spots, so I gotta get in there and get that off, and then I'll probably just hit it with the buffer to make it look nice and shiny. Shouldn't give me no issues, but we're gonna see. Sucks that it got scraped from the hood. Still, I'm gonna go ahead and break down how much I paid for the H2B setup for y'all, and y'all gonna be surprised when I tell you just how cheap I got everything for, and it's honestly not very realistic for most people. Mainly just the manifold setup, that's not gonna be realistic. I've seen deals on like H22s with plates and whatnot, but I still came up for sure. But yeah, let's break it down for y'all. Alright, so let me start off by telling y'all the setup that we have here. This is an H22A JDM motor. It's like a 93. Yeah, 93. Trans is a B16 trans, LS 5th gear. I'm not sure if it's an EM1 trans or like a Del Sol trans. I don't know which one it is, but yeah. The plate that we used the QSD kit. We also have QSD balance shaft delete, KS tuned manual tensioner. I'm not entirely sure if you need balance shaft delete and manual tensioner to do a H2B, but this was how the setup was when I got it, so this is what we used. We have the K-Series Skunk 2 intake manifold, RC injectors, what is this, innovative? Yeah, innovative fuel rail blocks, fuel pressure regulator, 80 millimeter K-tune throttle body. What else? Just a little eBay intake, 1320 headers, innovative relocation bracket for the alternator, and this is just like an eBay radiator. This was the one that was on the car when I had the B20, so nothing different there. These are the mounts that the car had to begin with as well. They probably I don't know, some eBay stuff. They probably like Yonaka or something like that. I don't even know. And that's pretty much it as far as the setup goes. Supposedly it's Type S cams in here. We don't even know for sure. I paid $250 for the trans. For the engine, QSD kit, and the 1320 header, I paid $900 for all of that. Pretty much everything else was good to go. All I needed was the engine and the kit. I already had the trans, I already had the mounts, so I didn't have to buy anything else. But off tops, I had to replace the distributor. I'm not going to add that into the price, but that was something that had to be done. I thought I was having electrical issues due to the harness that I was running at first, but it turns out it wasn't even the harness. I spent like $700 on this Wireworks harness, thinking I was gonna fix my electrical issues, and that didn't even fix them. So I was pretty mad, but at the end of the day, this harness looks a lot cleaner, and now pretty much I know if I'm having any type of electrical issues, it's not the engine harness, so that's peace of mind, and that's good to know. Also, we have the S2000 clutch master cylinder and slave. It's like a blocks quick release, and dude, this thing is magical, I swear. The clutch pedal is so much shorter, and it's super stiff, but I don't mind it at all. this car is set up for E85. So we have AEM fuel pump. I forget which size it is. I'll put it in the video. It'll be in text right here. We have E85 Freaks filter, AEM fittings, and all of that good stuff going to here. Now this is where y'all really gonna be mad, even though it's not necessary for H2B, but it's probably a big part of my build. And the K-Series manifold, fuel rail, the fuel injectors, these are 750 cc's. The throttle body, and pretty much the whole fuel setup was all gifted to me from my brother. This whole setup was pretty much his. Well, this whole setup was his, and he pretty much just sold me the engine and all that for $900, and then he turned around and just gave me this manifold and all the stuff to go with it for free. So that's where a lot of my cost was cut in this build. But I still ended up spending a lot, you know, with buying the harness and what else, the ECU as well. So I had a chip computer, but I switched to a Honda S300. I sold the chip computer for, I forget, I sold it for a lot because I sold it to somebody overseas. It was like $200 or something like that. And then I ended up buying my S300 V1 for, I want to say, $550. And oh, I also forgot to mention there's a KS tuned oil pan on this setup that was included with the purchase of the engine. So that was included with the $900 I paid. That thing alone cost like $425 or something like that. It costs a decent amount of money. If we counted everything in total, it would honestly probably add up to, I don't even know, probably upwards of $5,000, maybe $6,000, somewhere around there. You know, if you add original price of the header, the kit, and like the balance shaft deletes and the manual tensioner, all of this, of course, fuel pump and wideband. What else? The harness. If you include this entire setup, you probably have somewhere between $6,000 and $7,000. Maybe not. Maybe $5,000 and $6,000. I don't know for sure, but somewhere around there you have quite a bit of money. But I essentially only paid about $2,300-$2,400. So yeah, since I just mentioned it right now, the wideband, I'm gonna add that into the cost because I wouldn't have been able to do the street tune if I didn't add that into the costs. So yeah, we spent about $2,400 in total. Well, I spent about $2,400 in total for this entire setup. So I super came up, and it's probably not even a realistic come up. Well, it's definitely not, because you're never gonna come up on all of this stuff for free like I did. So yeah, man, realistically, this is about a probably $6,000 setup, but I only paid about $2,400-$2,500. But like I was saying, the manifold and all that stuff ain't really necessary for a H2B. You can do H2B extremely cheap, and I think you can have like pretty much a bone stock H2B setup. I think you can have for about $24-$25 like I paid, or even cheaper, depending on how much you pay for the engine and whatnot. The kit is like $600, almost $700. The engine you can probably find for like $1,000, and then Well, if you already B series, then you already got the transmission and the mounts and everything else, so you good to go. If you use your original harness, you will just have to extend your alternator wire to either come over the front right here or go underneath, like I took mine underneath on the side. And then that's pretty much it. Oh, and then you need an H2B header. But other than that, that's pretty much all you need if you want to run this if you want to run a stock setup. And that's not a lot of money at all. I think the header is probably like $400, somewhere around there. So yeah, you can easily put together a H2B for the same price that I paid or even cheaper, but you just won't have the manifold setup and all of that. So definitely still well worth the money if you want to do H2B. If you're gonna do all this manifold and all that, I don't know, you can probably go ahead and go K-Series if you're gonna do that. But if you want to go K-Series and do this manifold, then you'd be paying even more. So yeah, it's gonna be cheaper than K-Series at the end of the day. But it's definitely well worth the money, if you ask me. If y'all remember, or if you go back to my old videos, you will see when I had the engine just bone stock with the kit and the same trans in here. And at that point, I had only paid $900. I didn't even pay anything else. I just used the same harness that I had, and I was using a chip computer, but I was having issues, and so I thought I needed a harness, and I didn't. And long story short, we ended up spending a whole lot of money after that. But definitely happy with the outcome. I still super came up, and shout out to my brother, because it wouldn't have been possible without him.